Hi everyone, welcome to Samo's Garage. Right, so we're in the garage. We're going to start taking a few bits off the 5 Series today. Yeah, let's see how we get on. Doesn't really matter what order I take anything off because a lot of it's not going back, so yeah, let's crack on with it. Here it all is. Exactly the same as last time I took a video with the engine. Yeah, let's take bits off and hopefully when the time comes I'll remember where it all went. I'll try and find somewhere to prop my phone up because I haven't brought my proper camera with me. Right, there we go. Made a makeshift stand. You can see the engine. You can probably just about see what I'm doing. I'll probably time lapse a lot of this because it's going to be unbelievably boring, but at least we can get a start today and yeah, get going on it. All right, here we go. So I mentioned in my last video that I lost my job recently. So a friend of mine owns a recovery company and he was looking for someone to drive one of his trucks, and being that I was out of a job and couldn't find it, so I was actually a service manager for a main dealer, and I left that job. How brittle this is, look at that. I left that job September last year, so September 2022, to move to an independent garage who offered me a much better package than I was on, and at the time it seemed like a no-brainer. So I moved and worked my 3 months probation, and the 3 months probation ended just as the new year began, and all was going well. You know, no complaints from anyone. You know, the company was making money, and I turned up for my first day back in the new year, and the area manager turned up and said to me that they weren't renewing my contract and wouldn't give me a reason. So yeah, it was a good start to the year. I turned up with no job. So yeah, I needed to find something pretty quick. Typically there are no service manager jobs out there at the moment, or that's a lie. There are a couple of service manager jobs out there, but they're not paying very good money. Not, you know, for the hours that you have to put in. It's not the sort of money I'd want to work there for. So I'm holding out for something else. And yeah, driving a recovery truck at the moment, which is actually quite good fun. It's quite nice not sitting behind a desk all day, every day, being out and about, meeting people, going to different places. It just doesn't pay very well. If it paid better, then I'd quite happily consider it as a full-time career, because I do enjoy doing it. But yeah, as I said, it really doesn't pay well at all. You know, not that I'm complaining, of course, because my friend very kindly gave me the job when I was desperate for something. So it was very good of him to do so. Right, I need to find something to drain this coolant into, because I need to undo the coolant pipes. I don't think I've got anything. I've got buckets, which aren't going to be much good. I'll be back in a second. I'm going to look for something to drain this coolant into. No standing out there listening to me.
Why?
Because. Here we go. I don't think it's going to hold all the coolant, but it'll have to do. This car's got an under tray on it, I think. Yeah, it's got an under tray. Oh, I don't really fancy having to take that off yet. I'm going to have to, aren't I? How high can I jack this car up? So yeah, so anyone in England that's watching, anyone that's not in England that's watching, in England we don't really have big garages unless you've got loads of money. You don't tend to have a big garage. As I said, this is my granddad's garage. It's a big single garage. It's got quite a low roof, so I can jack the car up, but not very high. I think the bonnet's probably going to hit, but I do need to get under there to take the under tray off. I have no idea how this under tray is attached either. I was hoping not to have to lie on the floor. Well, not today anyway, because I didn't really come dressed to do this. I was round here with my daughter having some lunch and decided I'd pop out here for an hour or so. But let's have a look. Let's find a torch. Now my granddad's got plenty of stuff, or I should say had plenty of stuff, but I don't think he's got a torch. I suppose I can use the lamp that I've got up here for now, just to see what's going on underneath. Can you see me on here? You can see me on the floor. Looking very civilised. What have we got? Okay, so there's a 10mm plug there. There's a screw of some description up there. I have no idea how it's attached at the back, but it is attached. Oh, hang on. Okay, there's a couple of screws under there as well. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Massive trolley jack. Again, I don't know why my granddad had such a massive trolley jack for jacking up metros and stuff like that, but this is what we've got. I will eventually bring my smaller trolley jack around, my low profile one. this particular set, well, these three particular sets, which I would like to point out are Milwaukee tools. All right, Milwaukee, I'll quite happily accept any donations. So, oh, bollocks. My cooling hasn't got any anymore. So that was the return pipe. Look how brittle that is. There you go. That's how brittle that was. That was old. Put that one in the bin. You know, if my granddad was here now, he'd, you know, even being in his 80s, he'd be out here trying to help. Well, I say trying to help, he'd probably be doing more than I'm doing. I remember a few years ago, I had a Saab 9000. It was the 2.2 turbo, and it had, I can't remember what turbo it had on it now, but it was a massive turbo it had on it. It had about 400 horsepower, and it decided to blow the head gasket one day. So I asked my granddad if it'd be alright to replace the head gasket here. Yeah, of course, that's fine. And I think he ended up doing most of it. He was getting well into it, which was quite funny. I'll say a few years ago, that was when my granddad was probably, I don't know, 76, 77. And he was, yeah, he was thoroughly enjoying himself. Right, let's try catch some coolant, shall we? It's not going to work. It's going to go everywhere, I just know it. Not go in the bucket. I don't believe it. Well, that's never happened before. It normally ends up all over the floor. Not quite chuffed with that. But that's the one and only time that's going to happen. Get ready. This is going to go everywhere. Or not. I'm amazed. Yeah, these coolant pipes are quite brittle as well. They don't look all that old, but they're yeah, they're definitely not in the best condition. Alright, let's undo this top hose on the radiator, and then the radiator can come out. I'll imagine this will be the point where it goes everywhere. On the upside, it's all proper pink coolant that's in it. I didn't put that in. So the previous owner must have done that. But you know what, I'm just looking and I think, because it's automatic, I think the power steering lines go into this as well. So I'm probably going to try and do those. There's even more chance of getting stuff everywhere. Yeah, the power steering lines go straight into the bottom of the radiator because it's got a oil cooler in it as well, so I've got to try and get those undone, which isn't going to be any fun at all. Oh, where the hell's that coming from? Now, do I risk taking this top hose off? I'll just pop it back on if it starts going everywhere. I don't think there's anything in it though. No, we're okay. A good collection of Jubilee clips though. I'm going to need an adjustable spanner to try and undo these power steering lines because I haven't got anything that's going to fit them. I haven't got anything. I assume my granddad doesn't have anything to fit. No, I don't think these are going to be big enough either. Let's have a quick look. That's about the biggest one. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near big enough. Alright, he tells a lie. It looks like it might just about work. It's really too big. I don't know what size it is either. Oh, here we go. 15/16. I don't know what size that is. Right, a little smaller. Here we go. 3/4 inch. Which is too small. I'm getting caught on me now. Take my hoodie off. One, I'm getting warm, and two, I don't want to get covered in coolant and grease and all that. There we go. Right, so what was that? That was a 3/4 inch. These measurements mean absolutely nothing to me. That's also 3/4 inch. Need something that's a little bit bigger than 3/4 inch, but a little bit smaller than 15/16. Ideas on a postcard if you've got any clue. I haven't got a clue. Keep getting cooling on me. doesn't want to come undone for some reason. I don't know why. But without it coming undone, we're not going to get much further, so we'll keep trying. And the other side is happy enough to come undone. This under there as well. So we've got all sorts dripping out from under it now. Alright, well that's one power steering line off. Oh, give me a belly. While that's dripping away under there, let's get a couple more Jubilee clips undone up here. Through the lamp up here, can't see. You need to be seeing underneath for a few minutes. So I'll have to get back under and try and get that power steering line undone. It doesn't want to come undone. Now I reckon this one is going to leak coolant everywhere. One of them's got to. Yeah, it's coming out already. Bucket, there we go. Where does it go? I think the radiator's got to be off. Let's try to get to the other end of it annoyingly. Let's clip some more cable ties while we're here. And I suppose I could take the HT leads off. So I'm not going to be starting it again anytime soon. Like I said, there's no rhyme nor reason to the way I work. It's just as I see bits, I do them. there, so let's see what we're doing. Yeah, I need to get the fan off. I haven't got a spanner for these fans. I seem to recall you could whack them with something. Whack them with a bar, if I remember rightly, and they would come undone. Now, which way do we reckon it turns? Oh yes, this pump is absolutely knackered. It's only worked, it's coming undone. Straight in the bucket, I called it. Oh wow, yeah, this water pump. I'm amazed that this car still did any cooling at all. Because the water pump's just, listen, that's the water pump. What size of Jubilee clip? I'm losing the will to live trying to undo them with screwdrivers. These have definitely seen better days. Look at the state of that. going to play Hunt the Wire, then that's so much better. Coil. Won't be using that. So basically the idea is, if I haven't said this already, to just get everything off that attaches this to the car basically. I'll lift the engine out with as many bits attached to it as I can, and then it can go on the stand and be stripped down properly on the stand. But yeah, you know, if I can leave a lot on here, it'll make my life a lot easier. It's knowing what is attached to what, basically. Although it's an old engine, it does still seem to be quite a bit on it. Well, these were one of the first engines with multi-point fuel injection for BMW. It was carburetors all the way up to this model, as in the E28, not necessarily the 525, but the E28 was one of the first ones with fuel injection. But obviously it's all 80s technology. To be honest, this is the first, well, realistically, this is the first BMW I've stripped like this. I've always been a Volkswagen person up until a few years ago, when I changed allegiance to BMW. Do you know what? I think that's probably going to do it for today. My back hurts. I'm leaning over because I'm unfit, and yeah, I need to get my labels for all the wiring plugs as well, so I know what's going where when I take it apart again. So that'll do us for today. Let me just show you what we've done. So it's looking a little bit different now. So as you can see, we've got no radiator, power steering pipes are off. I've taken the belts off just to show you. That's the movement in the water pump. So when the engine was running, I could hear something rattling, and that's what it'll be. Yeah, so the HT leads are all off, cap is off, airbox is out, battery's out. This is what I was saying about the battery box. It's a little bit crusty around the edges, but otherwise it's solid. And we've got a few bits off on this side as well. There's loads more to undo. I am going to have to get it jacked up properly so that I can get the prop shaft off, because I'm going to lift the engine and the gearbox all in one piece. And it'll just make things a bit easier to do it that way, and then the gearbox can come off. Yeah, and that'll do it. Alright, so thanks for watching today. I hope it didn't bore you all to death. Please like the video, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, recommend me to your friends and your family and anyone else that likes cars. As I said, I'm not a professional. I was a mechanic once, a long time ago, but yeah, I can still take things apart and sort of put them back together. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.